For small business owners, well-written sales copy can be quite effective for getting the word out, pulling customers in, and helping the business grow. But without a big budget to hire an ad agency, many entrepreneurs find themselves writing advertisements and sales letters for their businesses, often without much knowledge or experience about how to do it right. Well, here with his thoughts on how entrepreneurs can sharpen their sales copy skills, entrepreneur and author of the book You Can Still Win, Andre Taylor. Good morning, Andre.
Good morning, Stephanie.
So first off, explain sales copy, and is there a magic formula to lure in customers?
Well, sales copy is really about persuasively and systematically putting forth the case that your product or service or offering is really something that they should take advantage of. It's, in some ways, it is salesmanship on paper, and the idea is to really pull someone in and make them excited about what you have to offer and get them to take action.
Okay, so what's the biggest mistake that entrepreneurs make when they're writing their own copy?
I think one of the biggest mistakes is that they don't really define exactly who they're talking to and how to talk to that person effectively. One of the keys here is you have to understand that the person reading this copy has a certain frame of mind, has a certain experience, has a certain perspective, and you've got to tap into that rather quickly.
All right, so let's get into your advice. What is the first key to writing effective sales copy?
Well, I think the first key is to really get your message down effectively and really put that forth in a way that's quite compelling. You have to know who you're talking to, and you have to have a message that really makes the case. Now, the thing to do there is to remember that as you make that case, you want to stir emotions in the process. You really want to get someone pulled in and excited about the opportunity to take advantage of what you have to offer.
You also say that you should decide what problem you can solve and make sure to put that in the copy, right?
Absolutely. Deciding what problem you can solve is actually key. I would say that it's paramount, along with knowing who you're going to talk to and what that message is. When you define the problem you're going to solve in a way that the consumer can understand, or even if it's a business client can understand, you're really going to pull them in. They're going to realize that they have that problem, and they're going to read on because it's going to be something that they want to solve.
In this age of the internet and short messaging, should you abbreviate your copy at all?
Well, I think one of the greatest misnomers about sales copy, particularly in this internet age, is that it has to be short. I would say that sales copy has to be long enough to do the job. And frankly, if you are speaking to your audience in the right way and you are really pulling them in, you're making a compelling case, you're stirring their emotions, that person is going to read as long as it takes to understand what it is you have to offer, and they're going to get excited along the way.
Do you have to be careful, Andre, about hitting a nerve when you're writing dynamic, emotional copy?
Well, I think the thing you have to be careful of is that you don't want to write in a cliched manner. Sometimes when people try to write sales copy, what they do is they actually implement a lot of bad habits. I think stirring emotions is always good. We certainly don't want to go over the top, but I think you want the person to feel that this is something I really want and that you understand their problem.
How do you make your copy sort of stand out from all of the others?
I think one of the keys here, Stephanie, is to really write it in a direct and personal way. When you write in a direct and personal way, what you're doing is you're talking directly to that person, and it feels like it's a friend talking to them. The other thing I think that's important is you must have a compelling headline. It's also useful to have things like subheads that will guide the reader along. These sorts of things enable the person to kind of jump around even if they want and still get the impact of the message.
Now, obviously, the end result is you want the potential customer to take action. So how do you make sure to do that?
Well, sales letters and ads really should have a certain structure. I sort of hinted at that a little bit earlier in that you want to have an effective headline. You want to have great subheads. You perhaps want to have a time frame where they have to act. You want to have testimonials there. And there are also some words actually that can be quite effective in pulling someone in. Over the years, ad folks have really studied the impact of certain words like new and improved and special and amazing. There's a whole host of words that really get people's attention.
Got it. And where can people find help with more help with their sales copy? Are there tools out there?
Well, I think one of the first things you want to do is to really start to keep a file of the sales letters that come to your home and the catalogs that you really find compelling. You want to keep track of this and really study this. But there's a wealth of information online about the right words to use, the right formats to use, and so forth. It's really an approach where you have to experiment a bit, but once you understand sort of the process, you can really be very, very effective at it.
Any final words of advice for some small business owners looking to enhance their advertising abilities?
I think that selling on paper is one of the most important skills that you can learn, and it's actually one of the most effective uses of your time. So I think it's something that you really should devote time to. Sometimes people are very afraid of it. The process really involves playing around with ideas. Sometimes someone will work on a sales letter and develop 20, 30 different headlines to see which ones will work, and they might develop that letter over a series of weeks. So keep in mind that it can take time to really learn this skill.
All right, but invest the time.
Exactly.
And Andre Taylor, author of the book You Can Still Win. Thanks a lot. Good to see you, Andre.
Great to see you, Stephanie.